I think what the press conference today just demonstrated is it's the governor's office that actually does not have a plan. And this is something we have been calling on. Certainly, I think moving forward, it was good to hear that they're now going to start taking into consideration the affordability, the impact that this is actually going to have on Connecticut residents, and we're looking forward to that conversation.
They didn't have any specific answers yet for what they would do next legislative session, but basically said it would be a priority. I know that's something you all have spoken about, wanting to put this to the full General Assembly. Are you happy that it's at least going to that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there needs to be more transparency and more conversation. You know, what was missing from the press conference were all the industries that are impacted. Those are the ones that Senator Kelly and I have been speaking to, who have been telling us they can't implement this program the way it's laid out in the state of Connecticut. And the one thing I think people tried to hide today, but it was very telling, Eversource's remarks. They don't have an infrastructure built out yet to support this plan. And the federal money that's referred to does not go toward building out that grid. That is money that has to come out of Connecticut residents' pockets.
But the Speaker made a very clear point in laying out that we need a goal, we need a plan. To not have one is more harmful. So, and you can reassess. We have 11 years to do that.
Well, we agree with that. We do need a plan, just not the one that they put forth.
Well, in essence, they didn't put forward a plan. And I think the one thing that we learned today from that press conference is that, thank God, there's Connecticut Republicans who are here being the voice of working and middle-class families, of rural and urban communities that have raised legitimate, and you heard it in there, they recognize these were legitimate concerns, and yet it was put forward in a regulation. Well, we need more than a regulation. They've admitted there's no plan to back up what those regulations had.
But if this is a priority of the administration, then it will become a priority of the legislature. But it needs to be done with equal input. Because the one thing that I will say from talking to residents, Republicans may not have the numbers in the General Assembly to get a proposal through, but we have the numbers of the public on our side to push this issue. But I think as a starting point, we need to get our electric companies into the room to see what their needs are going to be in order to build out the infrastructure. That's where I would start the conversation.
I mean, the government going back to the 70s had set requirements on Detroit about mileage, about emissions. You know, we have catalytic.
Yeah.
So go ahead. So, I mean,
there's always a natural element to government obviously regulating the market, and we can appreciate that. You know, what's ironic here is the one entity that is regulated, which is our electricity, is the part of the conversation that government is ignoring right now. And that's the one area that we can control, is how well our grid is built out. If the grid isn't there, the free market can't be there to supply these vehicles. It doesn't work.